Imagine this. A 9-year-old boy from a poor immigrant family arrives in New York. He doesn't speak the language well. No friends, no money. And the neighborhood is so unsafe that his safest place after school is the public library. That boy grows up to become one of the most successful and most admired people in Silicon Valley. But more than that, he becomes one of the calmest. His name is Naval Ravikant. He co-founded AngelList. He invested early in Uber, Twitter, and Postmates. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But what makes Naval different isn't the number. It's the operating system behind the number. He figured out how to build wealth without losing himself. And he learned how to be happy without needing life to be perfect. Over the past decade, he shared his best ideas through tweets, podcasts, and interviews. Eric Jorgensen collected them into one remarkable book, the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. In this video, we're going through every single lesson. All 36. We'll cover wealth, judgment, and happiness, fast, clear, and practical. Let's begin. Part 1, Section 1. Building Wealth. Naval opens with a statement that reframes money. Making money is not a thing you do. It's a skill you learn. Not luck, not background. A repeatable skill. Lesson 1. Understand how wealth is created. Naval says if you stripped him of everything and dropped him on a random street in any English-speaking country, within 5 to 10 years he'd be wealthy again. Because it's a skill set, not a circumstance. First, separate 3 things people confuse: wealth, money, and status. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep, a business that runs, equity that grows, code that ships, content that reaches people, investments that compound. Money is a transfer tool. It's society's receipt for value you created. Status is your rank in the social hierarchy. Status is a zero-sum game. For you to rise, someone else must fall. Naval's advice is simple. Seek wealth, not status, and check your beliefs. If you secretly despise the wealthy, you'll repel wealth. Your beliefs steer your risk tolerance, your ambition, and even what you notice as possible. Make sure yours are working for you. Lesson 2. Find and build your specific knowledge. This might be the most powerful idea in the entire book. Specific knowledge is what you cannot be trained for. If a school can teach it, a school can teach it to someone else, and you become replaceable. It's the kind of knowledge that sits at the intersection of your nature and your nurture, your personality, your obsessions, your life experiences, your weird combinations that don't fit into a standard job description. Specific knowledge comes from genuine curiosity. It feels like play to you and looks like work to others. Look back. What did you do naturally that people noticed? Selling, explaining, building, writing, designing, connecting ideas, reading deeply, understanding people. And here's the key. Specific knowledge is often undervalued at first because you make it look easy. But that ease is the advantage. You'll do it longer than everyone else because you actually enjoy it. Naval's point is comforting. No one can compete with you on being you. And the internet changed the game. You no longer need permission from gatekeepers. You can find your audience globally by being authentic. As Naval says, escape competition through authenticity. Lesson 3. Play long-term games with long-term people. Most returns in life come from compounding. Wealth, reputation, relationships, knowledge. Not from one big win. From small actions repeated for years. A great reputation built over decades is leverage. It turns cold introductions into warm ones. It makes deals easier. It makes mistakes forgivable because people trust your intent. The same with relationships. When trust is built, negotiations are faster. People share information sooner, and they help you when they don't have to. Naval also warns, most effort won't compound. Most relationships won't last. Most projects won't be the one. Your job is to find the small set that does compound, then commit. This is why long-term people matter. If someone plays short-term games, they'll burn bridges for small wins. Long-term people protect reputation because they know it pays forever. Choose partners carefully. High intelligence, high energy, And above all, integrity. Avoid cynics and pessimists. Their beliefs become outcomes. Lesson 4. Take on accountability. Accountability makes people uncomfortable, which is why it's valuable. Naval says, take business risks under your own name. Credibility comes from ownership, not hiding behind a brand, not staying anonymous. Your name. Yes, it's a double-edged sword. Credit when it works, blame when it doesn't. But the modern downside of honest failure is smaller than we fear. Most real failures are forgiven, and people who dare publicly gain a kind of power that anonymous people never can. Accountability also makes your work sharper, because when your name is on it, you edit harder, you think longer, you ship better. Put your name on your work, own it completely. Lesson 5. Build or buy equity in a business. Naval says, if you don't own a piece of a business, you don't have a path to financial freedom. When you're paid for hours, income stops when you stop. Even at a high salary, you're still trading time. That treadmill is invisible at first, then obvious later. Ownership breaks the treadmill. Equity can compound while you sleep, travel, or spend time with family. And ownership is not only entrepreneurship, it can be stock in a company you believe in. It can be profit share. It can be building an asset you control, a product, a catalog, a channel, an audience. Start a company, buy shares. Negotiate equity. Work at a startup where upside is real. The route doesn't matter. Lesson 6. Find a position of leverage. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and I will move the earth." Naval says wealth works the same way. If you want outsized outcomes, you need leverage. A way to multiply your input. There are 3 types of leverage. Labor, people working with you. Powerful but hard, because you must lead. You must recruit, coordinate, and inspire. Capital, money working for you. Powerful, but it requires trust and a track record. Code and media, software, books, podcasts, videos. This is the new superpower. It scales with near zero marginal cost. One piece of code can serve 1 million users. One video can reach 1 million people. One article can teach forever. Code and media are permissionless. Nobody has to hire you. Nobody has to approve you. You create, you publish, you iterate. That's why Naval pushes creators so hard. Because creation is leverage you can start today. Naval's message is direct. If you can't code, write. If you can't write, speak. If you can speak, teach. Build leverage that scales. Lesson 7. Get paid for your judgment. In an age of leverage, being right matters more than working hard. Wisdom is understanding long-term consequences. Judgment is applying that wisdom to real decisions. That's why someone like Warren Buffett can be worth billions. A handful of correct decisions scale through capital, reputation, and time. Naval says people will pay extraordinary amounts for slightly better judgment. Because when the decision is big, a small edge is everything. But judgment has a cost. You earn it by thinking, reading, testing, and being wrong in public. Over time, people stop paying you for effort. They pay you for taste, for clarity, for what you choose. Work hard to build judgment, then sell judgment, not hours. Lesson 8. Prioritize and focus. One practical tool Naval uses is a personal hourly rate. If a task is worth less than your rate, outsource it, automate it, or ignore it. Not because you're arrogant, because attention is limited. Every hour spent on low-value tasks is an hour not spent on compounding work. This is also how you stay calm. When you say yes to everything, your life becomes noise. When you protect your time, your life becomes signal. He also says 3 decisions shape your life more than almost anything: where you live, who you're with, and what you do. Most people spend days choosing a television, and years in the wrong city, the wrong job, or the wrong relationship. Reverse that. Be ruthless with attention. Lesson 9. Find work that feels like play. Naval says the year he created the most wealth was the year he worked the least hard. Because he was in flow, doing work that felt natural. No constant willpower. No grinding through resistance. When work feels like play, you go deeper. You learn faster. You don't burn out. And you outlast the people doing it only for status or money. The goal is not easy work. The goal is effortless obsession. Work that pulls you in. Work where you forget to check the clock. Here's the test Naval gives. If it entertains you now but will bore you later, it's a distraction. Keep searching for work you could happily do for decades. Lesson 10. How to get lucky. Naval describes 4 kinds of luck. Type 1. Blind luck. Pure randomness. Type 2. Luck from hustle. You create so much motion that opportunities bump into you. Type 3. Luck from preparation. You build deep skills, so you recognize rare chances and act quickly. Type 4. Luck from character. Your reputation and unique way of operating attract deals that others never see. That last one is the goal. When people think of you, a certain kind of opportunity comes to mind. Because of how you think, how you deliver, how you treat people, build skills and character until luck becomes predictable. As Naval says, in 1,000 parallel universes, you want to be wealthy in 999. Lesson 11. Be patient. This doesn't happen fast. Naval says the capable people he met early in his career eventually became successful. The only variable was time. Don't obsess over timelines. Don't keep changing direction every month. Keep building. We live in a world of instant dopamine, so patience feels unnatural. But compounding requires time. And time requires staying in the game. Money solves money problems. It doesn't automatically fix health, relationships, or meaning, but it removes stress and buys space. Get financially free. Then do the inner work. Now we move into Part 1, Section 2. Building judgment. Naval says, there's no shortcut to smart, but there is a path. Build the foundations. Lesson 12. Judgment. You don't get rich by spending your time to save money. You get rich by saving your time to make money. In the modern economy, direction matters more than intensity. Hard work on the wrong thing is still the wrong thing. A small improvement in judgment can be worth millions when multiplied by leverage. So study fundamentals, microeconomics, game theory, psychology, persuasion, and math, not buzzwords, tools. The goal is to see what is really happening beneath the surface, in markets, in people, in yourself. Lesson 13. How to think clearly. Clear thinker is a better compliment than smart. If you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it. Use first principles. Start from what is true, then reason forward. No jargon, no borrowed opinions. Build an unbroken chain of logic. The enemy of clear thinking is desire. The more you need an outcome, the less you see reality. So shrink the ego, hold fewer fixed positions, and create empty space. And remember, a calm mind sees more options. A frantic mind sees only threats. Great ideas often appear after boredom. Lesson 14. Shed your identity to see reality. Many beliefs were absorbed early and defended later. Question them. Does this belief make me healthier, clearer, happier, more effective? Beware packaged identities, labels that claim to explain everything. Real thinking is messy and sometimes contradictory. Hold identity lightly so you can update your mind when reality changes. Your job is not to defend a tribe. Your job is to see what's true. Lesson 15. Learn the skills of decision-making. Classical virtues, honesty, courage, justice, prudence, are long-term decision heuristics. For important choices, drop pride and memory. Don't ask, what did I decide last time? Ask, what's best now given what's true? Practice radical honesty. Lies distort your inner model of reality. And once you distort the model, every decision downstream gets worse. When giving feedback, praise specifically, criticize generally. Improve the outcome without turning it into a personal war. Lesson 16. Collect mental models. Mental models are compact tools for repeated problems. Build a lattice work. 1 model is useful. 10 models is power, because you can view the same situation from multiple angles. Inversion. What should I avoid? Compounding. What grows with time? Incentives. Who benefits? Game theory. Is this zero-sum or positive sum? Falsifiability. Can this idea be proven wrong? Collect principles, not trivia, then apply them. A model you don't use is just decoration. Lesson 17. Learn to love to read. Learning is abundant. The desire to learn is scarce. Naval reads obsessively. Books compress decades into hours. They let you borrow the best minds without needing permission. Read what truly interests you. Stop books that no longer serve you. Reread the classics. The best books are worth reading again when you become a different person. Reading is faster than listening. Doing is faster than watching. If you don't love reading yet, you haven't found the right books. Keep searching until you do. Part 2, Section 1. Naval's surprising discovery. Peace and happiness are skills, not rewards, not destinations. Skills you can practice. Lesson 18. Happiness is learned. Like fitness, your baseline can improve. Naval used to be anxious, competitive, and stressed. Through philosophy, meditation, and deliberate habit change, he changed his default state. Start with belief. You can train your inner world. Happiness isn't fixed. It's a practice you can get better at. And like any practice, you'll have bad days. That doesn't mean it isn't working. It means you're human. Lesson 19. Happiness is a choice. There's a tension. Happiness is satisfaction with what you have. Success often comes from dissatisfaction with what you have. But in any moment, you can choose your interpretation. You can choose the story that creates peace instead of the story that creates anxiety. You don't control every event, but you do control your frame. This is not pretending everything is wonderful. It is choosing the most useful perspective. The perspective that helps you act well and sleep well. Lesson 20. Happiness requires presence. The mind time travels, replaying the past or worrying about the future. When you are fully present, there is usually nothing wrong. Problems often live in imagined time. Naval defines happiness as not suffering, not desiring, not obsessing about past or future, and embracing the present moment. Presence is a skill. Train it by returning to what's here. Your breath, your body, your senses, the task in front of you. Peace lives here. Lesson 21. Happiness requires peace. Peace is happiness at rest. Happiness is peace in motion. Many chase happiness through excitement, new purchases, new achievements, new thrills. But excitement fades, then demands a bigger hit. Lasting happiness is quieter. It's steadier. It's the feeling that nothing needs to change right now for you to be okay. Build peace, not constant stimulation. Lesson 22. Every desire is a chosen unhappiness. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. Desire creates a sense of lack. Then, when you get the thing, the mind instantly creates a new target. So the question becomes, which desires are worth paying for with your peace? The solution isn't wanting nothing. It's being selective. Carry one major desire at a time, consciously. Choose it. Pursue it. Then let it go. Less mental clutter, more freedom. Lesson 23. Success does not earn happiness. Naval knows many wealthy people who are unhappy. The traits that create success, competition, anxiety, relentless drive, can become your identity. Then success arrives, but the anxiety stays. Success solves success problems. It doesn't automatically solve happiness, health, relationships, or meaning. Work on those deliberately. Do not postpone peace, because if you don't train happiness now, you won't magically have it later. Lesson 24. Envy is the enemy of happiness. Naval says envy is one emotion he has almost completely freed himself from. And he believes it is one of the most quietly corrosive. Envy is a relative mindset. You compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. There will always be someone with more, so the game has no end. Shift to absolute thinking. Measure your life by your growth and values, not other people's outcomes. Compete with your past self, not with strangers on a screen. And be careful with resentment. If you resent success, you will sabotage your own path toward it. Lesson 25. Happiness is built by habits. Happiness is not one insight, it's a system. Exercise daily, meditate, even briefly. Get morning sunlight. Avoid chronically negative people. Keep your calendar clear. Guard attention. Catch your judgments. When you react, ask, what's the best interpretation of this? Or, what would this look like if it were happening for me, not to me? And simplify. A simpler life is a quieter mind. A quieter mind is easier to keep happy. Small habits compound just like wealth. Lesson 26. Find happiness in acceptance. When life hurts, Naval says you have 3 options: change it, accept it, or leave it. The one option that never works is staying and suffering while doing nothing. Acceptance is not weakness, it's realism. It's the moment you stop arguing with reality and start responding to it. The word he repeats internally is simple: accept. Lesson 27. Choosing to be yourself. Society spends enormous energy pushing you toward conformity. The right job, the right beliefs, the right lifestyle. Naval says most of this is noise. Authenticity is not only spiritual, it's strategic. The best outcomes come when you stop performing and start building from who you are. But to be yourself, you have to know yourself. That takes time, honesty, and self-inquiry. What do you actually enjoy? What do you actually believe? What are you willing to sacrifice for, and what are you not? Stop performing. Start being. Lesson 28. Choosing to care for yourself. Naval's order is clear: health, then relationships, then work. You can't build wealth from a broken body. You can't sustain relationships from a depleted mind. You can't create your best work while burned out. Self-care isn't indulgence, it's infrastructure. Sleep, move, eat well, listen to your body. If you're burning out, that's not a badge of honor. That's a signal. Lesson 29. Meditation and mental strength. Meditation isn't mystical, it's practical. Naval calls it defragging the hard drive, clearing mental clutter. Modern life fills every idle second with noise. Meditation creates stillness, and in stillness you see patterns, anxieties you feed, stories you repeat, habits of mind you can finally release. You discover that thoughts are just thoughts. They come and go. You don't have to obey them. Start small, 10 minutes. No app required. Just sit and observe. Lesson 30. Choosing to build yourself. The old model our parents used to believe in is dead. Go to school, get a degree, work in one field for 30 years. The new model: come up to speed on a new field in 9 to 12 months, dominate it for 3 to 4 years, then evolve again. The person who can learn anything quickly is the most valuable person in any economy. Build foundations, basic math, clear writing, logic, persuasion. These compound into everything else. Build yourself deliberately. Because in a world that changes fast, the best asset you can own is you. Lesson 31. Choosing to grow yourself. Growth requires discomfort. Place yourself at the edge, not so far you collapse, but far enough that you must expand. Think independently. Very smart people can look weird because they refuse to borrow beliefs. They insist on thinking it through. And independent thinking has a cost. It may make you unpopular in the short term, but it makes you correct more often in the long term. Be an optimistic contrarian. Independent thinking plus belief the world can improve. Be that person. Lesson 32. Choosing to free yourself. True freedom is ownership of your time. Optimize for independence over income when you can. Move toward being judged on outputs, not inputs. Where nobody asks when you started, only what you created. Knowledge workers function like athletes, train, sprint, then rest and reassess. Your best work comes in bursts, not an endless grind. Independence compounds. More autonomy creates better work, which creates more value, which buys more freedom. Take the first step toward it, even if it's small. Lesson 33, the meanings of life. Naval doesn't prescribe one meaning. You discover yours. His answer, the meaning of life is to do things for their own sake. That's art. Doing something because it matters in itself, not because it impresses others, not because it leads to something else. Find things you'd do even if nobody watched and nothing came of it. That's close to meaning. Lesson 34. Live by your values. If you have to ask your values, you don't have them. Values show up in actions, especially under pressure. They show up when the wrong choice is easier. They show up when no one is watching. Naval won't trade values for money or approval. He says, the closer you want to get to me, the better your values have to be. When your values are clear, decisions become simpler. You stop negotiating with yourself every day. Align inner world and outer behavior. Lesson 35. Rational Buddhism. Naval calls his philosophy rational Buddhism. Not religion, but a framework for reducing suffering. The core insight. Suffering comes from desire and attachment. Strip away metaphysics. Keep what's useful. Be present. Reduce craving. Accept impermanence. Avoid over-identifying with roles and outcomes. It's not about becoming passive. It's about seeing clearly, then acting without the emotional storms that sabotage you. Combine that with scientific thinking and first principles. Use it as a daily operating system. Lesson 36. The present is all we have. This is the final lesson. Everything you want, wealth, happiness, relationships, purpose, only exists now. The future is a projection. The past is a memory. Neither one is happening. You are always in the present. The question is whether you are here for it or living in worry about what might happen and regret about what already happened. The present is where your life actually unfolds. It's where you make decisions. It's where you love people. It's where you create. Be here. This is it. 36 lessons. 2 words to summarize. Productize yourself. Build specific knowledge. Apply leverage, especially code and media. Take accountability. Own equity. Play long-term games. Be patient, and while you do that, choose happiness, build peace, reduce desire, accept reality, be present. Naval's final warning is humbling. When you're finally wealthy, you may realize it wasn't what you were seeking in the first place. Do the work, build the wealth, find the peace, and then live. So let me ask you, which lesson from the Almanack of Naval Ravikant resonated with you the most? If this video gave you value, then share it with one person who needs it. I'll see you in the next one.